Hello, folks. You're listening to WPVM 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen online at WPVMFM.org. I'm Abby the Spoon Lady, and you are listening to Busker Broadcast, and I am so glad that it is finally fall and the season is kind of coming to an end. We've got some very nice, wonderful people in here to say hello. Would y'all like to introduce yourselves?
Oh, hey. We're Cricket Creek GYPSIES. My name's Nitsa. This is JC. My name's Nitsa. This is JC, my husband, and we formed a band in Asheville called the Cricket Creek GYPSIES, where we do projects with everyone who wants to play jazz, bluegrass, gypsy music. Anything, JC?
Yeah.
What do you consider to be gypsy music? Like how do you describe that?
Traveling music. How would you describe it?
We collect like old songs from different regions and stuff, and try to put our own little spin on it. And that's it. Yeah.
We're going to be playing a few traditional songs, and yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Awesome. All right. What are you starting with?
We're gonna start with the Deep River Blues.
I really like that.
Thank you. That was fun.
It's really good. So how long you all y'all been playing together? Like maybe I guess this is probably a long story. Maybe not in exactly this configuration, but
I don't know. It's been a while.
We all sort of started.
Seems like.
The four of us, it's only been about 2 weeks or something.
Right,
like that.
yeah.
And that's solid, like, of saying, yeah, we should all be a band right here that makes music that reaches out to, you know, musicians and getting this sound that we're trying to play, you know, played and it's so fun. But I think we all kind of found each other busking on the streets in Asheville this summer, really.
Yeah.
We kind of joined in on a few sets with each other and, like, initially, wow, just random chemistry of music just happened. It's fun.
well, that's why it's important, folks, and this goes back to the thing that we've been talking about on and off, which is why it's important for it to be a permit-free situation, busking. It's important for different folks to be able to come out and be able to make noise or whatnot.
Yeah, it's JC, can I sit on the set? I don't know, are you permitted to do so?
Yeah, it's
It would
outlandish.
fire most of us. It would ruin Asheville.
It would,
Yeah.
it would. It
That
would.
band was Grace, but was that an legal bassist I heard?
They have them illegal bassists running around without permits, not here in Asheville.
I understand both sides of the permit argument. It's just there's two valid points, you know?
I think it's just, you know, eventually cities come to a point where they're like, something's got to give.
Yeah.
You know, and here, what's really, really hammering it down is all the extra tourism and the hotels being built. And so that's putting a lot of pressure on the residents here, and the locals are starting, like the local shops and stuff, are starting to feel a little bit under fire, I feel. And some of that's because now this chain threat, you know, threat of the chain stores coming into downtown, and that's kind of a scary thought for some people here. It feels
Yeah.
like you're losing yourself at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And then most of them all of a sudden say, the sidewalk in front of my new establishment just
Oh,
got
something's got to
purchased by me
give. They
too."
stand out. Let's pick on them.
Yeah. We own the sidewalk next to the restaurant too, and pretty soon we'll own the next 3 restaurants next to us, so
Right.
that if the restaurant next to us wants Buskers and we don't, oh, well, maybe that's an issue too for the.
Right.
But local businesses that come into town, they don't do that.
The folks that are here are pretty used to us. You know, they they talk to us. They let us know what's up. Usually, there's a couple of y'all. You know who you are.
But there's a lot of really awesome, talented people that come out of this city, and without the freedom to speak their mind or to be, you know, loud and noticed or creative out there, then, you know, you wouldn't be cultivating legends such as yourself and, you know, others that have come before us that have come out of this city. Pretty amazing music, pretty amazing artwork.
The word legend is daunting. The thing is about street performance is that it's kind of like this strange organic thing. You know, it's its own ecosystem. You know, and when one thing gets a little spoiled, you know, it's that whole saying, one bad apple spoils the bunch.
That's true.
You know, and it goes to same true with the traveling kids. You know, when you get those
Yeah.
those kids that are just so bad, and do all those really bad things. I'm trying not to curse. But they give bad names to those who come through and who are really, really good people in general. And they could be good businessmen and women too, amongst just being a good person. And how they dress and how they carry themselves and how they, what they do and do not have doesn't really have anything to do with what they give to their community.
Yeah, you don't need a home to be a great giver to the community.
Right.
You don't need to
Right.
have any set guidelines for that.
Right, we have a lot of musicians, and I'm going to say this real quick. We have a lot of musicians who kind of float in and out, and a lot of folks that definitely leave during the winter. And so we're talking a lot about seasonal workers. A lot of buskers go and do, miscellaneous farming and whatnot else, a little pick tobacco or whatnot, beet harvest, all of that. And then hit busking season again. And those people count. Those are our semi-locals. We have semi-locals
That's where it all
here.
begins for a lot of us on street performance. No one really kind of wakes up saying, I'm going to be a street performer exactly where I had that idea to do so. And, it's just, like you're saying how someone carries themselves, that really means a lot more than what sort of clothes they're wearing. And it's more like, how do they keep the clothes on them, Do they have a blatant disrespect for what's around those, or are they obviously, just someone that you might not understand at a first glance? Because that's what Asheville has really been to me over the last year, is walk into a store and, and from my experience, it's been a shock to see maybe somebody in a suit open the door for me walking into a coffee shop and be like, greetings, sir, how you doing, boss? Or, yeah, how have you been? I've been around for a long time.
Now,
Just
where are you
noticed."
from?
Well, about 7 years before I came to Asheville, I was everywhere and really just searching. for that.
Were you traveling on foot or
Yeah,
rubber tramping around?
The
Or
last 2 years, I managed to get a van from doing farm work in Vermont,
yeah.
which
So
kept me going.
you're living exactly
Kept me
what the
going.
hell I was just talking about.
We all kind of, well, I don't know,
Freddie might be
are you
planted
from
in
here?
No, I was not born here.
Right. It's a valley of searchers, maybe. But
Yeah.
finders as well.
Oh, I came here on accident. What?
That's the best way, isn't it?
No, literally, I took the wrong train. It was a good accident, I guess. All right. Well, y'all want to play another one?
Yeah.
I'd love to.
What song do you have this time?
Is it the Train Going On song?
Yeah.
Now, do y'all have recordings?
You can find us at Cricket Creek on, SoundCloud, Facebook.
SoundCloud we may.
No, I changed the. No, maybe I didn't change the name. But yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
post this on all the pages that I'm running on Facebook. All the pages I have access to. So yeah, Cricket Creek. The links will be posted on the Asheville Buskers Collective and on the WPVM Facebook page, which you can find WPVM on Facebook, and also Busker Broadcast. All right.
All right.
I messed it up.
Oh.
It's you get me to write it down earlier today. I can't figure it out anymore.
Yeah. What are the chords to that song? I don't know. All right, we'll figure it out.
I can't write stuff down, dude. Okay, let's try something else. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do like a blues song, but now I'm completely.
Well, it happens. Let's do
Yeah.
some good songs.
Alright, give me a song. Tell me a song.
100 years from now.
100 years from now. Alright. The song was written over 100 years ago. I'd like to see this earth again 100 years from now. To walk and talk with the living men 100 years from now. I'd like to see how far it's done, how business is and how it's run, how votes are cast and all this won. 100 years from now. Yeah, 100, 100
It's really funky. I like that. So, is there recordings?
We have live recordings. We don't have studio recordings.
A lot of recordings of like the first time we ever did something, and they're like all over the place, and some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are really cool. Some of them is like, what are they doing?
Well, I'd like to pick at you for some of your recordings sometime. It'd be fun to play them on the station.
He's definitely.
And so, what other cities have y'all played music in?
Well, Nitsa and I are really like the Cricket Creek nomads. So like we started the band and we just we've been here, we've been New Jersey, we've been Texas, we've been
Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, all those places.
yeah, and we played music all those places.
Do you have a favorite busking town?
Here.
We always end up back here, and
I
that's
mean, we.
kind of why we formed this band here. This is our
Yeah.
Asheville band.
I mean, it's here because like all the music is here. Like we can make money other places, like better, but
Yeah.
here is like where it's rich with the traditional sounds. So that's why we met here. We're pretty much in love with here, and it's awesome. So
And I've busked, like, we could talk about probably most busking cities in the country that over the course of a little over 7 years, I've spent majority of time, and, you know, I've done the most common, like Boulder and, you know, all of California, and, but actually I spent most of my time busking in like the Midwest in places that weren't known to be for busking. It was kind of actually intimidating at first to be in a place that was known for busking.
Sometimes that's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely changed everything. It brought me to ascension with music for sure. Because before I would wake up and find my little cozy spot, cozy corner of the universe, and play music for a while, and when I was done I had maybe $20 or so to get me through my day, and that was very satisfying, and just carry that guitar around, and tomorrow was the next thing and the next thing. So sometimes it'd be a footbridge or a rest stop or the most crowded intersection of Boston to Indiana. Somehow I became a Midwest kid for a while, and then me and my wife met when I was in Montana, Missoula, also one of my favorite busking towns actually, for its own strange reasons.
It's a nice little college town.
Yeah, it's a really pleasant place.
Yeah.
I met my wife out there, and we decided to kind of find a spot to be for a while, and ended up over here. Just all the times that I traveled through Asheville and someone told me not to leave and that I had everything I wanted here, and I did not believe them. They ended up to be telling me the truth. Yeah, I just had a baby boy a week and a day ago, November 8th. It's our first kid.
Congratulations.
Yeah, he's amazing. So, rather than those little hours that one might get for sleep, I've been playing this new bass that was given to me, and getting to rest too. I don't feel very drained. I'm like top of the world. Asheville has given me a lot of blessings and a lot of opportunity. And I actually quit my job, which was a great job in the spring, to busk for the summer. Steven of Ain't Nothing Much, he told me that, man, you'll get to spend more time with your family. You won't be covered in all the chemicals that you hate getting in the fiberglass and the sawdust, and you won't come home so exhausted that you can't even spend time with your wife, and you'll be able to provide for her the same financially that you're doing now. Proved it to me. I actually it wasn't easy though. It was like it wasn't all true. That doesn't mean you're not busking for 6 to 8 hours a day on a day that you planned on busking for 2. It happens. It was a lot more time and dedication than I'd thought. I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna pursue music and have a baby, and it seemed outrageous, but it also made sense, and it was, I made it this far, you know, have a healthy baby now, winter's coming. I knew the next move was gonna happen then. I'm really hoping that it continues through music, though. Music is the way for me.
I wanna say for a moment, you know, with all that you just said. Again, it's getting colder outside, and busking is seasonal, so it's extremely important right now for you to be, you know, tipping your street performers. But not only that, make sure this Christmas to shop local, because the season hits our artists that are in the galleries too, and they also wish to have a Merry Christmas, you know, and sometimes it gets a little rough for musicians and artists
as
and
well. Yeah, I mean,
and so you know, just remember this Christmas, local, pass it on.
yeah.
Just want to take that moment, you know, because
Start
we all got our
knitting
struggles,
sweaters.
you know. Here you got a busker, just had a baby.
Yeah.
Now it's getting cold. So remember, folks.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
important.
it's-
You know, folks don't realize sometimes how, you know, that person has the same struggles as they do.
It's a
you
valid
know?
challenge. We're kind of doing it for the same reasons, like, that people might not even understand, the sense of, like, you know how when you just know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're challenging yourself to the most that you're probably capable of handling at that point in your life, and it's the hardest route. You know, it's the best choice because it's the hardest one, but it's the one that shows the most like, I never want to walk down Asheville and hear only speakers coming out of restaurants like it is in Nashville or Austin. It pushes me away. When there's no buskers out there, I mean, I like to be a busker because I want buskers out there. It's kind of strange. I won't spend time out with the music if I'm not doing it myself.
Nashville is one of those things that's one of those places. It's a little bittersweet for me because I kind of watched its musical decline on the street. I was present for that,
Yeah.
and so it's kind of a rough spot in my
Yeah,
heart. You
I
know,
know.
kind of like poking at a bruise. If you really think about
we
Nashville.
we also went out there and tried to busk it. We busked in Nashville to see what it was. It was, yeah, difficult.
It was, you know, Nashville's the only street in Tennessee that doesn't have noise ordinance. You know, the bars, the people, nothing has no noise ordinance whatsoever. It's the only street in Tennessee that doesn't have that. So just a little
But
information
then
for
they
you
like
there.
to tell the buskers that there is a noise ordinance.
Well, see, that's one of the problems that came later.
Right.
First thing to think about with Nashville is that it has big city problems. It has more homeless folks per capita than New York City. And so you're talking about a humongous homeless presence within the downtown area. And so that shady area that exists between street performer, busker, and street life and homeless is very, very muddy.
Yep.
It's extremely muddy.
As a musician, you really got to define the line too if you're out there doing that. I mean, that is a place to, if you're going to try, you bring your A game to the, I mean, it's an interesting experience. You bring it all because you do want to stand out unless you want to end up with trouble, not just with authority, but just with your company that you keep in general.
Well,
Very magnetic.
Nashville was one of those places where there used to be some very serious, awesome street bands on a pretty consistent basis there.
Yeah.
And as time went on, you know, it had always traditionally been this very, very seedy place. Always. Since
Yeah.
the city was built.
Nashville.
Right. But Second Street started putting in a lot of more of those bars where, you know, the folks are dancing on the tabletop naked or
Real
half
friendly
naked or
somehow,
whatever.
but just-
Right. And and a lot of the windows started coming open, a lot of speakers came out, and then on the street the same thing started happening, where this guy came out and started getting so loud that this guy came out and he started getting so loud that now this guy who was using his amplifier at a decent volume, now he's got to turn up because he can't be heard over these guys, and now the bar's got to turn up too because now his amplifier's like blaring straight into his bar.
Right.
And I just sat there and I just watched it. I just watched it.
No
And all the folks
coordination.
that used to go down that played acoustic couldn't be there anymore
Yeah,
because nobody could just play to their own spot.
right. Acoustic is always the best way to go.
And it was just really sad to watch.
You barely hear yourself playing an acoustic instrument out there.
You know, and Asheville is going to get busier and busier, and if I've got to be okay with that, well then fine, I'll be okay with that.
We are actually coming here to propose building a hotel on Pritchard Park. We think we need a hotel on Pritchard Park. We should take
Maybe
callers.
3 or 4 more.
See, big hotel on Pritchard Park. Taking callers now. Who would?
Oh, we should totally
wanna-
start a fake Facebook campaign for that one. It's real, folks.
But amazingly, there's somebody already shutting down our operation. Who just found out it's already a Facebook page to go anti Pritchard Park Hotel. But that's why we love it here.
I was really looking forward to there being a big old hotel there. How about a parking garage? Can we put a parking garage
Might
there?
work.
Right?
Goodness.
Quarter of a minute.
Well, you know, I don't want to talk too much politics
Play
quite
some
yet.
music.
Yeah, y'all should play some music.
Okay. Stop over.
Cool.
Now, and I do not have a guest for my second hour, and so if you guys feel like hanging out into the second hour, you're more than welcome to. I'm just throwing that out there.
We're here.
You know, just gonna be playing tunes and talking
Yeah.
politics, same old stuff.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Stop me if I'm bleeding on the rug. I'll be right.
We're getting serious, folks.
There's a deep, dark
You don't have any shows booked?
No.
That'd be nice.
Why not?
Well, we
We're
were
not
hoping you
good
could hook us up,
marketers.
Abby.
We're not good business people. We don't do the business coffees at the business times.
But
We have
we're on
fri-
the radio,
we have
Mom.
friends who
We just play.
Well,
On the
I'm sure
streets.
y'all shouldn't have any trouble booking stuff over the winter. I mean,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. We've been pretty much depending on busking this whole summer, so like I don't know. Our friend in Ohio has given us kind of like a ultimatum to go bring. Like I build tank drums. You've probably seen them everywhere, but not mine. But Asheville, there's tons of like cool tank drums out there. But yeah, so I don't know. Like since we weren't so prepared with gigs and stuff, we might go back.
Winter came on quick and we were like, oh,
Yeah,
can't busk anymore.
yeah, we're kind of like camped out right now. It's kind of getting cold, so.
yeah, it gets cold, but it's only a few months. And about St. Patrick's Day, it starts trickling back, and then as soon as school lets out, it's game on again. Business
Yep.
as usual.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And,
I'm
it's the
excited for next
same.
summer.
But St. Patrick's Day is when you really start to notice it, like within the people walking, and you know what I mean, that kind of stuff about St. Patrick's. And it used to be that okay, so you have the buskers' migrational patterns,
Yeah.
and it used to be that folks would spend the summer up here and then go down New Orleans for Halloween.
Yeah.
And then they'd be there, throughout Mardi Gras. And then they would hit St. Patrick's in Savannah. And then they would be here. Except now they're skipping Savannah because,
So
they are not so nice to travelers
Yeah.
anymore. And they've done chased all their buskers out. At least all the folks like Asheville folks out of there. But, I don't know.
Hand them all over to the next town.
Yeah, well, it just kind of works that way, I guess. Charlottesville's not too far from here, and it's a pretty good busk. And Knoxville, I'm going to Knoxville tomorrow for I'm cheating on my radio station with another radio station.
I hear Knoxville's been getting better for busking, actually. I've only kind of passed through there a few times years ago. I had pretty hard experience entirely, so it's kind of surprising, but I should check it out one time soon. One of these days.
I've played music there on and off. I mean, it's small town busking.
Mm.
And Charlottesville is about the same way, where it's got that huge, pedestrian area, and Busker's kind of dotting it.
Yeah.
Exact same kind of thing.
I've been having really weird busking dreams lately, where we're all like busking in different aisles of grocery stores, and in like different. It's
Stores
like
in
different
the
stores
malls.
in the malls, just like, and it's just been hilarious.
Have you seen? Okay, folks. If you're at home, I want you to go to YouTube and look up this thing. I think it's called Improv Now, and they do like the grocery store musical where they planned all these people in the grocery store, and then they suddenly break out into song and do an entire musical in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh, the Improv Everywhere? Is that what
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was on one of those.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more of those. That'd be
Oh.
great.
Well, we try to create those in Asheville. We start flash mob dances down the street. That's how we all met.
Actually, yeah.
Or he and
Well,
I did.
that's how Nita and I met. We joined a taco parade that was singing To the Taco Store song down the street. It was a huge musical parade. Bubba Love was singing the
that
taco
was nice.
song.
Bubba. If Bubba's listening, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bubba.
Shouting out to Bubba.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bubba Love.
Out there in Florida somewhere. But yeah, so, yep, we joined the parade and then,
Sang through the streets of Asheville and made 30 new friends all at once.
That's
Probably
great.
all kinds of stuff.
Singing about tacos.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Going to
Singing
taco
about
store.
the white duck.
Yep.
All right, that's what's up in Asheville, folks. That's what's going on. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, where are you born, raised?
Born and raised in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
And what about New Jersey?
Well, I left it.
Well, yeah.
There is something to it. I mean, it made me who I am. I was there for 20-something years and was an artist there. I'm a starving artist as well as a starving musician. And I was teaching art in New Jersey, and I left to play music with these guys.
When we first started, Nisa was doing live painting on the street.
Yeah.
My wife joined too. She was.
I remember
it was Nisa
that.
and Sarah painting. We were jamming. And
Yeah,
that
we
was
were
a cool
art
day.
busking.
It was a cool
Yeah,
day.
I've been working on a couple of ideas about ways to incorporate that, because now that everything's kind of gray and muddy around those areas of ordinance, and so I'm hoping we can create, through cleaning that up, some new opportunities for folks to come out and be able to do paint and canvas. I'm hoping,
Yeah.
because
Well,
there
I had
needs
a
to
lot of
be
luck
an
with it.
avenue for that.
It was fun.
Sarah's-
And people respond well to it because I
They
mean,
love
we have
it.
art right next to the music. It was before I was playing music with them.
Oh, they love it.
So yeah,
I love it.
It's really great either way.
I love it.
Yeah. Shout out to Boz. Actually, painted he's just an incredible artist in town here. Where he was looking for another way to kind of just have more live painting and for people to witness and show his, I don't know, his expressions of, he's one of my favorite artists actually. And he came out, and it was just an honor. He decided to do portraits of some of us that were jamming Ain't Nothing Much when we were playing out there, and what a gift that was. Yeah, I mean, people were, it was really when I could see busking shifting for the better right there. It was really cool. Things were doing something different that I liked, People, the crowd's response was pretty cool. I mean, the people's response was pretty cool, where you didn't know who they were even there to like gawk at. Either it's like it's divert, it's separated a little bit. You get to feel a little bit more free. People are only really watching you if they want to be, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, and so I have a hard time going into bars. And I have because of that too, I have a hard time going to see my friends' shows because
Right.
I'm just not a drinker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, well, and I think that's one reason that I've gravitated towards busking is because I'm a little socially awkward and don't really fit into that.
I think
Everybody's mind
that's-
controlled right now. We're in the era of mind control, so I mean the ones that have broken it are out there. But
We're out here
few
being
far
awkward in the
between.
streets.
Awkward as
Out
hell.
here being socially awkward together.
It's nice when I'm playing music. It's the one time I'm not thinking about how awkward life seems or whatever. It's one time you're just kind of natural. Really, whether you're making mistakes, hitting the wrong notes, or hitting every note the right way, or the way you want to hit it, it's kind of freeing, you know? And then be able to do that out in public for people just as a way of being like, I could do this at my home, but I'd rather do it. Or I could do this with my friends, but I'm going to come out and expand my music and my friendship to you, and I'm going to share a bit of what is really going on with music, what people are really jamming, and it might not all be my creation, it's just something that we're all channeling of, this is maybe a better choice of music than just tuning into the latest, like JC's saying, mind wash network or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally, see, here we go back to Nashville. There's musical think tanks. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not kidding, folks.
My,
Okay, so does this seem natural to write a song by sitting around a big round table with keywords as to what's popular and trading
What?
off like
Yeah.
Fed to
like
you.
phrase by phrase?
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
And having somebody check whether or not your phrase may or may not fit the mold that they're
Standard
trying to
of what
shove it
music should
into.
be. Yeah.
Man,
my family
It's
is
disgusting.
part of the
Welcome to
Nashville
Nashville.
think tanks. The Nashville ones especially.
Yeah,
Like, my
no, they're
family-
famous. They're famous.
Yeah, like you,
Famous.
oh man, it's terrible. It's terrible. My cousins have written songs. Like this dude Eric Hamilton's out there writing jingles for ads and stuff. It's,
Hey,
it's
Eric.
Right. And then you talk about the
creepy.
Nashville A-list when they talk
Super
about the
creepy.
session players there, and there's the session player A-list.
Right.
And, you know, and they use the same, you know, banjo pickers and fiddle players, and please don't get me wrong, these are really, really awesome musicians, great musicians.
Yeah.
But they're reusing the same ones over and over and over again, and that's why it all kind of sounds the same.
yeah.
And there you have it, folks.
Mind control.
Country music broke down 101. There you go.
When some of the bands were coming out of the bars when my old band was playing in Nashville, and I'd be like, hey, what's your band called? And they'd be like, oh, well, and they'd look all awkward, like it's I don't know, the Steven, the Joe Schmo project, whoever the lead singer is, it's like, and they're all studio musicians, just musicians got to make a living, we take all different forms, you know, we're all sort of studio musicians in a way, just by being available to jam with other people, but there's no like connection in a lot of the bands that are up there. They just kind of know the songs and they're gonna go play the songs together, not really feeling the soul.
Right.
You wanna
If,
do that,
if you
Dan?
if y'all feel like hanging out after the hour a little bit, maybe we could talk a little bit about the way that music moves and morphs a little bit. I like talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Y'all want to play another song before we take a
play
little
another song.
break?
Swing?
Yeah.
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 What song?
Well, we can kind of had this realization that we wanted to jam a little minor swing, Django Reinhardt, and it was just like magic in my living room. We were like, let's play minor swing, and instantly we were playing minor swing, and none of us know the exact composition or however it truly goes, but
We'll see.
this happened.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see
what
We'll see what happens.
We like it.
Mix it up a little bit.
right.
There you
That's
have it.
awesome. All right, folks. We're going to take a quick moment and kind of let y'all listen to the Resonant Rogues for a little bit. Last week on our break, we listened to our buddy Clyde McGee. And this week we're going to listen to the Resonant Rogues. The Resonant Rogues are
Yeah.
nice, fun, fine people. I've known Keith for years and years and years and years. I used to pass through his hometown. And he used to go to high school with a really good friend of mine, who's now playing music in New Orleans and whatnot. So you're listening to WPVM 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen online at WPVMFM.org. I'm Abby the Spoon Lady. You can find me at spoonladymusic.com. And we've had in here with us the Cricket Creek Gypsies. I am right now posting about their links and whatnot, so make sure you get on there and like them. Or you can like them in real life and find them
You
downtown.
find us around the Woolworth or the Iron till it's snowing.
Liking somebody in real life, I must tell you, is much more fun.
It definitely is.
Yes.
More engaging, for sure.
And
Only
that's
we got
today's
time.
lesson. The more you know.
I knew a girl with crooked teeth and flowers in her hair. She lived a blessed life until it came too much to bear. Till it came too much to bear. I miss her in the morning when she'd sing to start her day. We'd take one step and then the next. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no more that I can do. There is no more, my friend, that I can do for you. I knew a boy with smiling eyes, a kiss to stop my heart. At least that's how it felt each time we'd spend the night apart. Oh, we'd spend the night apart. The weight of all eternity pressing on my chest. The wheels keep turning round and round, and I can't get no rest. Oh no, I can't get no rest. There is no more. Oh, can you see? There is no more, my friend, that you can do for me. Oh, now gather near to me and listen when I say each one that you hold dearly, oh, is bound to go away, oh, is bound to go away. And the song she sang this morning will ring out nevermore. So friends, take care of loved ones before they walk through that door, before they walk through that door. There must be more that I could do. There must be more, my friend, that I could do for you. There must be more that I can do. There must be more, my friend, that I can do for you.
tell me the reason for misery. I'm melancholy. Won't you fall with me? Everyone loves company. When I feel it bleed, come and take a fall with me. If you need a minute, digest your fear and admit it. Growth thrives with space between, but growing pains ache me. To forgive one's choice to sing in a flash flood that's passing. Won't you fall with me? Everyone loves company. When I feel it bleed, come and take a fall with me. I'll take my worried mind down the hatch more than twice. A long night with no sleep, mornings re-grasping. It's been real hard to conceive the reasons for asking. Won't you fall with me? Everyone loves company. When I feel it bleed, come and take a fall with me.
Oh, get this weight, all this world off my shoulders. I know the fate of this world don't rest on me, but that don't jump us, it's a lie you see. I know the shape of this world is formed by every hand that touches it. I know the hate in this world ain't doing nothing but the
all dried out, and all the people in the town are waiting for the rain. Waiting for the rain. Mama told me to play nice, spend a time swatting flies. Waiting for the rain. Waiting for the rain. Hold on to your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Hold on to your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Knocking at your door, asking what you can afford. You're waiting for the rain, but now he's waiting for the rain. And Pa's got himself a new tool, put me to work and never went to school. I'm waiting for the rain, now he's waiting for the rain. Hold on to your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Hold on to your feathers, stormy weather. I traded off my tramping boots, got me some nice wingtip shoes. I'm waiting for the rain, waiting for the rain. The farmers' crops are all dried out, all the people in the town are waiting for the rain, waiting for the rain. Hold on to your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Hold on to your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. So hold onto your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Hold onto your feathers, gonna have a stormy weather. Waiting on an eastbound train, thinking about all the plans I made yesterday. Well, today's a new day, so they say, but I still think about what drove me away. Passive ties never stripped my mind, like a tightrope I'm on thin ice. Yet I keep moving forward. It was winter then, it's summer now. Seems somehow I never found the outlet I needed to grow. And now I'm alone, I have time to think about what went wrong. Pardon me, I'm not trying to be some dandelion under your willow tree. No. was a wishing well made of marble stone, all the coins in the world would not keep me from feeling alone. Looked upon a beautiful scene, telephone poles burning. When I made a date with that overland line and bid farewell to the great divide, shivers went down my spine. And now I'm alone. I have time to think about what went wrong. Pardon me, I'm not trying to be some dandelion under your willow tree. No. If I was a wishing well made of marble stone, all the coins in the world would not keep me from feeling alone.
The sun on your face in the morning, all the things through the day I hold dear. Oh, I like this routine, yes, I've dreamt it in dreams. If you want me, come get me, I'm here. All the things that I thought brought me pleasure don't delight me when you are not near. Tell me, what do I do with myself without you? If you want me, come get me, I'm here. And it's not quite a need, but more a desire. Coals of my longing, oh, restart the fire. Tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. Oh, I'll share what I've got with you, dear. But here's my advice, and I won't ask you twice. If you want me, come get me, I'm here. And it's not quite a need, but more a desire. In the coals of my longing, go restart the fire tomorrow.
Hello, folks. You're listening to WPVM 103.7 FM in Asheville. You can listen online at WPVMFM.org. We're doing Busker broadcast, and we are going to do a little chatting about some politics here. Y'all want to talk a little bit about who you is and what we doing?
Not until I say, man, that song, the band Resonant Rogues, is so soothing, so beautiful. Can't get enough of it.
And those recordings are real nice. They were done in Echo Mountain.
Man, so clean. Good job.
Yep. How long have you been here? No.
In Asheville, I've been here for about 8 years.
8 years?
Mm-hmm.
And what is it about Asheville that you like the most?
Well, I guess especially since I've become a musician, you know, I like meeting all the musicians that are here and you know, expanding all my opportunities and just you know, trying everything out that I can and trying to learn and have fun, but at the same time be serious about music and playing music and trying to work my way to becoming a full-time musician. And then also it has just such a great vibe here, obviously, and I feel blessed to be here. I don't know. I was born and raised in Bristol, Tennessee, and then about 14 years after that, I've been in Asheville ever since.
Well, that's the birthplace of country music there.
Yeah, that was amazing when I was a little kid, being able to go see all the live music that my parents brought me to. My dad was a musician. That's where I get my musical blood from.
Is he an old-time musician?
Not really. He didn't really pursue music as a profession. I wish I could say he did, but he plays guitar and he sings, and he got my head start on playing guitar and bass too. I played bass before guitar. So,
that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we were talking a little bit outside about how busy things were getting here, and a little bit about some of the things that come along with that, the little annoying little things that come along with living such a free and awesome lifestyle. And one of those things when it comes to busking is getting along with your neighbors. And I'll have to admit that I am an extremely stubborn, frustrating person to work with at times. And, but the truth is that I'll tell you like it is, and I don't sugarcoat anything. So you know that you're getting straight, complete honesty. And so whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's for another conversation altogether. But, the truth is that sometimes folks come out and it's a little tough to chew what they're working on. And, you want to be able to give folks space to learn and so on and so forth, because that's how you got there. Well, for me, that's how I started becoming a street performer, is that I just wanted to play music with my friends. I had no idea about any kind of percussion or whatever. Somebody stole some spoons off some restaurant seating outside, and I went playing music with my friends as I was hopping trains around the country like a delinquent. That's how I learned.
And you're watching the other buskers a little bit, but you're not trying to do it how they're doing. You're still gonna express it your own way. You're gonna
Right.
try your own spots. Try your own even levels of sound. Sometimes with any instrument, there's a way to play it really loud, and there's a way to play it really quiet. But sometimes, if you're not playing it really loud, you're not even coming close to what you're trying to do.
Well, one thing is for certain, is that projection is a very important thing when it comes to street performance.
Yep.
And so when you start talking about what are the things that street performance keep alive, and part of that is the performance itself, working and dealing with the crowd. And that's an extremely important part of that whole organism. And so then you start talking about things such as band dynamics. How do you get people's attention? How do you get them to stay there? How do you get them to not flutter away while you're changing a string real quick? How do you get them to not take how you're trying to insinuate for them to tip you the wrong way?
That's the experience. All of that is everyone out there is going to approach all those things differently. How to keep the crowd sort of maybe dancing if you want them to dance, or how to keep them not dancing if you're not in a spot that you can really have 30 people jumping around in circles in front of a restaurant, that like working with your neighbors. Before you started playing, you told a woman or a man, someone who owns a restaurant, that we'd like to play here. We're gonna try to keep it as respectful as we can. We're gonna try to play music that we want to share with you. We think you're gonna enjoy this. That's why we want to play here. And then sometimes you just can't control what the people who just showed up and are gonna leave right after they do the thing that's gonna get you kicked out and don't care twice about it.
Yeah.
But there is ways to work with them. I mean, that's being a street musician. You learn that. You find little tricks to. And maybe at first, when someone would come up and just start, maybe hold up a 40 ounce and just like chant something and start drinking to get a whole crowd amped up. At first, you're like, well, I don't know what to do, so just keep playing. Maybe after the song, a few times, I've learned how to be a little bit more blunt, not sugarcoating it. Hey man, you can't do that here. This kid's here. Or hey man, you just can't do that here. Move along.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but when there's variables to all of it. Sometimes some musicians, you can't frown on them for not being so blunt with a giant drunk guy,
Well, I've definitely learned that when, and I am happy, and I'm okay with this term, because I feel as if I am also local wildlife, but I'm just gonna, throw out the term local wildlife. But sometimes there is some local wildlife that is a little frustrating from time to time. But I've definitely learned that it's much easier to bum somebody a cigarette once in a while, or pass out $1 once in a while, than it is to try to puff out your chest to everybody and kind of clear the square where you're playing.
Right.
And when you do things like that, then you end up with a lot less issues around you. Let's not panhandle over here. That's my friend.
Yeah.
And
And be their
that same
friend, too.
respect comes right back to you. They see that respect that you're giving to them, and they respect you back.
Yeah. Approaching everyone as your friend before you really even know who they are. Even someone might seem pretty wild, but this is Asheville. Like, you're gonna see people that don't appear to be who you might think they are.
Oh, that's definitely for sure. And Asheville is one of those places where you can't judge a book by its cover at all here. More so than most cities. And because we've got folks out there who are filthy rich that look very homeless. And I know several of them. And I see them
Probably
pretty
do, but I'm
consistently.
sure they didn't tell me they had millions of dollars.
But But, you know, money isn't the issue, though. What we're talking about here is that you never know
Yeah.
what's behind the door, you know? And I liked, there's this project that some kids were doing in New Orleans one year, and they were walking around, they had a bunch of pieces of cardboard, they cut up a bunch of boxes and a bunch of markers, and they were taking pictures of folks on the street, asking them to hold up a sign that said, you know, something about them that they didn't think other people would ever think about them. And, you know, and so you had people holding up signs that I went to college. I'm a classically trained piano player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like all these things, and, you know, and these are all people on the street, you know. And the pictures are pretty profound, I thought, you know, because it kind of woke something up inside of you. You're like, all possibilities are available to you at that point, you know?
Right. I just kind of got an image of a homeless man holding up a sign that says, "I love my kids." You know, just kind of, I could totally see that, because even me, everybody, when, like, I'll meet somebody and when they tell me that they have kids that are, you know, 100 miles away or 1,000 miles away, I always want to be like, what's wrong there? Doesn't your fatherly instinct say you want to be there with your kids? But that's because I'm like going through my path with my understandings of how things kind of should be, and then to find out there's so many situations that everyone goes through that are totally unexplainable, unplanned and undesirable. We're all dealing with so many areas of undesirable outcomes that we're making the best of, and in turn we're getting less and less undesirable outcomes. And I just met a guy the other day. He was sitting in front of a gas station, and covered in tattoos, and like maybe 2 different color eyeballs, and like totally like everyone. He's being told to leave this place. You can't be here. The woman that owns the place saying, and I'm just talking to him, giving him a cigarette, and he's telling me he's having a kid coming, and his kid is far away, and I'm looking at this man with a lot of heart, being shown 0 heart from the world around him, and still having this optimistic understanding that things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a man running from his family to be a street kid. He just was
He was just away.
He was just doing it on his little pilgrimage.
Yeah.
And it's important, everyone to go on that pilgrimage. Don't fight it, just do it.
Recently, I saw on BBC there was a man, and I'm gonna Google this right now as I'm talking about it. But he was walking across. He walked across from Africa to Asia. Wow. Well, you know, and I sit there and I'm, you know, and this guy's got to figure it out. You know, he's walking around, he's meeting everybody, folks are inviting him in to their homes, he's, you know, walking from city to city, and, you know, but in America, things are slightly different, and, you know, the view is different. And, you know, so you watch these BBC films, you know, where they're talking with these men walking from place to place, and they're talking about all the things that I remember about traveling. Oh, this person brought me in, and they shared the last of their food with me, or this person, you know, gave me a ride from here to here, and so on and so forth.
Forever.
Right. And I'm sitting there going, you know, like, in America, these are the same folks. It's folks with this attitude that are floating in and out of Asheville. That attitude, that I'm going to walk across America, and here it is presented on BBC in such a way that it inspires you. It makes you proud to watch this man. Yeah. Look at this man shed off all of everything and just enter the world. Like, take me as I am. But we shun people on the street that do that here.
When I was on that journey, on my journey here, it was a cruel several. I mean, February 2007 to, you know, last year, it's really when I finally figured out things kind of fell into place for me, everything I had maybe been walking to. But I was a veteran. I was served in Iraq in the Army when I was 18, and I got out to having to figure it out on my own. I didn't have a home at all to go back to, just circumstantially, because my dad passed away, and it was like life had said, figure it out. And everywhere I go, I'm just searching for love. I'm searching for simply acceptance. Like, you can be here to figure out your thing, but it was just a joke. Literally being escorted out of towns everywhere I go by the police because they didn't know who I was and I wasn't allowed to be there.
Yeah, I describe to people sometimes that feeling that I had when I first came off the road of going to the gas station and just having to be a regular trip to the gas station from wherever you're staying to go get a Pepsi or a pack of smokes or whatever it is, and to sit there and pack my pack of smokes outside the gas station and then take that moment to look around because I'm expecting somebody to ask me to leave.
Yeah.
Or if a friend goes into the gas station, you know, and then the entire time they're in the gas station, I still have that deep set of paranoia sit over me where I'm still waiting for somebody to ask me to leave.
It's like shell shock coming out of being in that
Yeah.
situation to Asheville, even where I don't experience that here, not like I did elsewhere, at least at this, you know.
And you try to describe that feeling of always being worried.
Yeah.
You know, always being ready to just have to leave, whether or not you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, that it's kind of a weird feeling to describe to folks
And it
who have
became
never
normal.
understood it.
It was a normal thing, as weird as it is. It was a pretty normal thing for me to go through, to live that. I did experience freedom in Mexico. That was an amazing experience. I finally, you know, I fell into the sort of migrant path of the buskers and travelers, and I just could not handle it anymore. It was not fun for me to be so unwanted everywhere, and I just shot off to Mexico. It's interesting how free I really was out there, and when instead of cops like escorting me out of town like they had been before, threatening to put me in jail, always hearing we can do this the easy way or the hard way, which I was totally convinced I didn't ever want to do the hard way again. When they say that, it's like, okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to do a backflip off this building? I'll do it. Just don't do it the hard way, whatever that is. Whatever you're thinking, I don't like it. But the cops in Mexico, really, they'd come up and they'd ask me what I was doing, and I'd tell them, you know, ¿Dónde están las drogas? They come up immediately. They might think I'm smuggling drugs or something, and then I just tell them the truth that I'm just walking. I don't have any money. I don't have any food, and I'm gonna just keep walking. They would have this huge heart for me of, oh my God, are you hungry? Can we feed you? Do you like beer? Here's a beer, you know? So it's like here, you can't, I felt like when I was traveling this country, you didn't have that right to explain to an officer your unique situation of what you were doing. It's really their perception is what they have to go off of for some reason, you know. Oh, I was called for some street kids loitering at a gas station, and they told me they have rights, so I'm going to take them to jail. Or I'll find a reason.
Jacob Maurer, if you're listening, I have this friend Jacob who spent some time in Mexico traveling around learning accordion, and he kept being picked up by Mexican circuses.
I do know what that's like as well, actually. That's funny. It's a way to travel in Mexico.
Yeah.
When I was trying to come north, that's when I encountered that, because going south is easy, but coming north is way harder. Way harder.
I bet. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I bet it is.
People are all happy about taking you as far away from this place as you want to go, but the second you start going back, they're a little suspicious of you. Like, wait a minute, what are you going up there for? It's crazy up there. Stay here.
What do you want to do that for?
What would you ever do that for?
Wow. So definitely, I think America has things. America's set in its ways, and it's very materialistic here. And there's no way around it, you know. And we talk about havens like Asheville, where it seems like, you know, we have this little shield of that, you know, still kind of hanging on a little bit here, you know. And as we kind of watch that break up, that little safety net of local us, you know, genuine of dirt, straight dirt. People like the dirt. It's good for you. It makes you feel good. Squish it between your toes. People like it.
Yep.
You know, but as that kind of gets all polished up and cleaned up and sanitized, you know, we're kind of watching that kind of, that warm bubble pop.
Yeah. Is there, what do you know of how people could be like, there's always the city council meetings, I guess, and it's always so difficult to really get yourself to do that, and it always seems like so difficult to find out when
to get
the
involved.
meeting is, and how to get involved. But I've always found in other communities that I've spent time in that there are other ways, like, you know, even the whole like General Assembly type idea, sort of, without, you know, having to do it someone else's way, but just a place for people to get together and really. I feel like maybe the West Asheville Exchange is where I get most of my politics of what's going on in the town sometimes.
Off of wax?
It's just like, we're more of a community showing, a potluck sort of, with buskers, and that would help shake off the corporations in the way we're looking for.
Here, you know, we've got the big issues with the chains coming into town, and that's a pretty big deal. Today there was a big public meeting about the I-26 connector. You know, they're talking about taking out some neighborhoods possibly and stretching out our highway in West Asheville. And to me, this touches home because
Literally.
my landlord went to that meeting to try to figure out whether or not she's going to have to sell the property we and about 5 other buskers are staying in.
Wow.
And so, you know, that being said, you know, we look at the state of things and we look around and we talk about things like affordable living. We talk about, you know, the cost of rent and all these things. You know, recently we had a group coming through here, straight 6-string band.
Yep.
And Devin and Marina were really, really great musicians, and they looked and they looked and they looked to try to find a place to live here when their place was, you know, they no longer could stay at their place. And so...
Would that be the straight 6 band?
Straight 6-string band. Yeah, they went on to New Orleans. You know, so we're talking about buskers or musicians and artists that would like to stay here over the winter, but have to uproot every single year, no matter what. You know, they're unable to sow those roots.
It took me and my wife about, I want to say like 6 months of actively looking for somewhere that we could afford to live, that we wanted, no, without just moving to an apartment in a building somewhere that we didn't feel at home in, you know, willing to spend enough money to have a home.
Yeah.
It took 6 months. It was until I had to settle on something that basically I have to do all the work to renovate the place, and I still barely afford it. And it's
Fixer-uppers.
It's like a fixer-upper that you. I mean, it's a great spot in West Asheville, but really, I feel sort of like I did the wrong thing by choosing to pay. Saying sure, I'll pay that much money for a place to live, because now it maybe enables other landlords to do that. It's like I might have personally, I feel in my heart like if I didn't do that, then other landlords wouldn't be doing that, and I know that's outrageous. But
Now you're going into another argument that does pertain to musicians and busking. Okay, so let me ask you this question. And because this is the exact same question turned around. Do you feel as if buskers on the street giving it away for free, and I'm not saying I agree or disagree with any of this. Do you feel like buskers giving it away for free on the street, I'm using air quotes, folks, are making it harder for bands in the bars to get paid because they're out there giving it for free, quote unquote?
As a busker, I have thought that sometimes. I have thought like, man, if maybe I just stopped busking, maybe we'd be like a more desirable band and we'd get booked. But instead, since they see us out there constantly, they feel like they get a free show. But most of like how I want to feel about it, at least, is that we would be doing something entirely different on stage in a bar. We're a band that's playing sort of according to as much respect to the town and the tourists and the stores and the sound and the noise, and we're not going to dance too hard, and we're not going to yell too loud, and we're not going to get too emotional in our melody of what we're doing, because it's basically pushing to the extreme of what we can do in public for free, sort of, and on the side of the street. When we're in sort of a more intimate atmosphere, like any other musician I feel would think, and they're on a stage and they're given the respect that a typical musician would expect to see when you're showing up to bleed your heart out for these people that you want to extend your family to, they're going to get a different experience. That's what I really kind of feel. Unless it's a band that thinks that they would do the same thing on the street as they would on stage. But I think on a stage, you're allowed to drink a beer and kind of loosen up. You're allowed to tell jokes that, like, you can still tell your jokes in the street.
You can play raunchy songs.
By the end of the
if
song,
you got the right crowd.
yeah, by the end of the night, you sort of know what your crowd wants to hear, and you're vibing with them more.
There's definitely a difference between playing on a stage and not on a stage. I mean, even on a stage outside compared to the sidewalk is completely different.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about festival stuff or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You lift somebody up 1 foot off the ground and suddenly it's a completely different thing.
Yep.
I don't even know what it is.
And that's the best. That's what I like about busking, is it's where all your transformative.
You're still on their level.
Yeah.
You can really tap into the people on the streets in a way that you maybe can't even on the stage. There's totally different atmospheres.
Yeah, because people go into bars. Most people that go into bars are going there to socialize. That's what I observe. I mean, some people are going to directly there to see a band. Like, I want to go there to see a band. That's what I do. I don't want to go anywhere unless there's like I know there's good music there. And then so I agree with everything that Sonny said. I think that people have every right to go on the street and busk on the street, and I think people who will play for free in a bar who accept that, I think that affects the other bands, because
Definitely.
But not on the street, no.
All right, so if you are interested in getting involved in your busking scene, but you're not necessarily a busker, I'll tell you right now what you can do. If you or any of your friends own a venue, please remember that musicians, we're talking about skilled, technical, awesome, intricate stuff that takes years and years and years to learn and perfect. And so when you think about booking bands, whether or not they're buskers isn't the issue, because it doesn't matter whether or not you're doing it outside or inside. You are a band, you're a musician, you're a performer, whatever you're doing, you're still that. You're a performer. Being a busker, having that label shouldn't do anything different. That's just a place. It's not a thing,
Yeah.
So, that being said, if it's a Saturday night and you had your pipes bust in your house and you have to call 3 plumbers to come fix your plumbing on a Saturday night and they got to work 4 hours for you, how much do you think that bill's going to be?
Right. And it's not like playing music is not exhausting or easy. it's a physical, enduring task to. If we were all just kind of in our living rooms playing some tunes, we would have much longer breaks. We would have.
You'd be able to play what you want.
Yeah, we'd do what we want, but we'd also do that on the stage too, and on the street. It's we always got to do. And as I lose my train of thought.
Well,
I do think that all right, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just going to point out a little bit that I personally prefer to play outside. As far as going indoors, I personally, and this is just me, myself, and I, not talking about what other buskers may or may not do, but I prefer shows to gigs. Meaning, you know, like, and I'll play a show, but when I play a gig, you know, like if I'm background music at a bar, I feel more like I'm a court jester than I do a musician.
That's yeah.
So
It's hard to be able to turn all your gigs in. I mean, I guess I just gotta turn all the gigs into a show, regardless of what someone else is calling it, and then make those decisions. Like, do I want to play this event, or am I gonna play every event that books me because I'm poor and I need to pay the bills too? Everyone runs into that problem.
yeah, I run into
Sometimes you say
that.
no. I said no sometimes, but it's not.
I say no more often than my bandmates do, and I, you know, and so, you know, I'll be like, I don't really want to do that, you know, they don't, because I feel as if folks should pay a certain amount. You know, I feel like I've been working on this for a long time. I made a name for myself. I feel like I'm worth it.
A staffing agency called me the other day, and I got sort of recommended, and they called me and they offered me this awesome job that I'd be getting paid $9 an hour, and to me it wasn't awesome. And I was like, I want to tell you the truth. There's no way I can afford to work for that. I mean, I'm not living in someone else's house, like being raised by someone else. I have my own family to take care of, and sure, I'd love to come participate in your event, but $9 an hour what is that?
Yeah.
That's like how what I lose in that is the time to develop my art in ways that truly could support me and my family.
Yeah.
When you're giving all your time away and they're giving you nothing back, you're giving more than just your time. You're giving your ability to succeed in life.
Definitely. We got a little less than 10 minutes left here. I'm gonna go through a couple of events real quick while we got a few minutes. All right, so we got at the Burger Bar every Friday through December. We got Stale Bread Scotty showing up at 6 o'clock, and then Vaden Landers and some mess of some shifty drifters, fly-by-night rounders, Spoon Lady, Spoon Tank Clan. Something will be there at at 8 o'clock.
Nice.
Be around there.
Yeah. You know, a handful of the shifty drifters are going to be gone for a lot of the winter, and I think we're going to be dissolving for next year. And Vaden and I are still going to be playing some music together, and I'll be playing some with Chris Rodriguez, I think, but I'll be all right.
Oh man! And if you see Chris Rodriguez out there busking in the cold before the season's over, make sure to pick up that album. It's so good.
Yeah, we just got a copy of it for the station. I'll be putting that into the Automate system, so make sure to stay tuned and listen for that.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else we got? Today we had the I-26 connector public hearing, which was at the Renaissance Asheville Hotel. So I'm hoping somebody can send me a message and let me know what happened, because I am really, really needing to know. So tomorrow, which is November 17th, if you're listening to our rebroadcast, tomorrow, November 17th, Asheville City Council meeting, and we're talking about homestays and substations. And that's tomorrow at 5 o'clock at City Hall. We have open mic spoken word event at the Buffalo Nickel, and this is a David Joe Miller event. David Joe Miller is Asheville's storyteller go-to guy. He knows all the great storytellers and puts together some great events, and this is a place for you to go and try your hand at storytelling. Very much worth it.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? That's about the end of my list, almost. Oh, we got the free clothing swap at the Burger Bar. So next Monday, November 23rd, 6 o'clock, bring your clothing that you are no longer using, and other people will be doing the same, and
I'll
kind of
probably-
dig through and have some fun and see what you can find.
I'll probably be
sounds
bringing some pretty cute little newborn baby boy clothes that we got a lot of, and he'll probably outgrow by then.
Awesome. Perfect.
So yeah.
Perfect. All right, and Asheville Music Professionals. Asheville Music Professionals is having a health insurance workshop the same Monday, November 23rd at 6 o'clock. Asheville Music Professionals puts on a lot of these tickets, these issues. You could get a ticket. I'm stuttering. Asheville Music Professionals does a whole lot of stuff for our local musicians. They do workshops on everything from bookkeeping for musicians to this health insurance workshop, which I went to the one last year, and it was very informative, talking about how to get health insurance if you're a musician, if you're working for yourself. It's extremely important, and so, you know, busker, bar band, it doesn't matter. It's really awesome stuff. But that's the Asheville Music Professionals Health Insurance Workshop, and that's Monday, November 23rd at 14 North French Broad Avenue. That's Echo Mountain there.
Seems like a good event.
Yeah. And we got Jukes Giving at the A-Loft, and that's a Stevie Lee Combs event on Thursday, November 26th, which is Thanksgiving at 7 o'clock. And then on December 5th, we got Lost Dog Street Band and the Carolina Catskins at the Crow and Quill. And I'm going to tell you right now, Lost Dog Street Band, Ben Flippo is one of my favorite people of all time. So go and see this band because I love these people so much.
That'd be good,
Spoon
right.
Lady approved. Awesome folks. I used to play a lot of music with them in Nashville. Well worth it. Well worth it.
Do you think I could make a little announcement?
You go for it.
This Friday, a Latin dance band that I play in is playing at Tall Gary's from 9:30 to 12:30. So
Sweet.
it's very high energy, up tempo, fast Latin dance music like merengue, salsa, rumba, mambo. So if you're feeling, if you got an itch to dance like you got ants in your pants, then come on down to Tall Gary's this Friday night.
That's perfect. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, and send us those announcements. You get something going on, let us know.
Okay, yeah.
Definitely.
Freddie playing the Latin guitar is definitely a good time. Sometimes we've totally thrown off the crowd. I mean, the people out in the street busking when we play some really like dark whatever we're doing, and then all of a sudden, let's play some of the most amazingly uplifting music you've ever heard.
Yeah, that's what
Freddie
it's about.
lets loose. Good.
Awesome. All right. We got a couple of minutes here. Maybe I could take us out with some Ladies on the Rag. Ladies on the Rag is a New Orleans busking band. We've had several members of them floating throughout Asheville throughout the year. Pigeon, Sierra, and Rachel was playing fiddle with us with the Shifty Drifters for a little bit. If you're interested in knowing something or getting involved in the Asheville Buskers Collective, you can find the Asheville Buskers Collective on Facebook. You can find us on the interweb at avlbuskers.com. Or you can come to one of our meetings in which we've been kind of waiting off. We've got a little held off by public safety, so we're taking a little bit of a break, but we're back going to work, and our next meeting is actually tonight at 6:30 at Rosetta's. So if you're in the area, and this is Monday, if you're listening to our rebroadcast, it is Monday night, 6:30 Rosetta's. So you can find those dates and times on the Buskers Collective pages. So, any other announcements?
Cool. Make sure to enjoy your weekend.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, it's Monday. Hope you enjoyed your weekend.
Yep. Well, see, Monday's the start of my weekend. And tomorrow, I guess, is knock, so I'll be all right. All right. Have a good night.